You just kind of make noises.
You just bubble the water. You're not actually intaking anything.
Is this part of your unique technique?
It's the eye contact that does it. It's like...
There's a lot of gay forums out there that'd be really excited about this.
I mean, maybe. He looks more frightened the longer it goes on. Like, he can't quite believe...
A little bit of intake and I was getting worried I was going to start choking on it and then cough up and then...
That's fine. I'm not sure if the mic's waterproof, but it's fine.
Oh, we're recording, aren't we?
Welcome to the show!
The realisation.
Look at the bacon.
Every time. Every time.
Got to grab a coffee.
No.
Damn it.
It's alright, we're only going to be recording for the next 2 hours.
Oh, mad, are we really?
I don't know, probably not. Welcome to the podcast, guys. This is Don't Tap the Table.
Yeah. Oh, it'll just be until Gabe passes out on the floor.
For context, I don't need to give context, you will laugh later.
He's going to supply his own context.
I'm a quick disclaimer, there might be a little bit of a hacking cough. Just a quiet one throughout the episode.
Just
today.
a quiet one.
Gabe's been researching 19th century lung diseases.
Sometimes
And
you
contracted one somehow.
You've got to get hands-on with your research. I'm Gabe.
I'm Dan.
I'm Luke.
And this is Don't Tap the Table.
Scoop.
Great.
It sounds like a terrible drum kit.
I'll just get my garage band out.
DJ.
I feel like you should. Our intro needs to come from Dan's garage band.
Well, I don't know. Judging by my previous week's performance of keyboard, I don't think it's probably best.
No, it's alright.
Yeah. my rendition of We Like It Raw was...
Was that what that was meant to be?
Well, yeah.
That's not the original's meant to be.
Raw talent.
So...
Yeah.
I don't know what Dan's segueing into here, but he's proper leaning into
There
it.
was a so, but nothing else to it. So what, Dan?
No, I've spent the entire weekend building play kitchens, so I'm...
Oh, tell us about construction of play kitchens.
Okay, yeah, I can help with that. I mean, just generally construction.
R.I.P. my feelings.
Yeah, no, I know.
And the viewership of this episode.
Hey, they might be interested in IKEA.
They might.
Everyone likes a tour of hard hats.
No, I really got into it. Like, IKEA do this like really cool play kitchen for the girls, but all the extras come separate, and they're all about 15 quid each for like a pack of fluffy vegetables.
When Dan says the girls, he's referring to the fact he's not monogamous.
Yeah. I often buy my spouse's play kitchens.
I think the plural is spow.
Get your grammar right, my boy.
Dan has kids. It's the truth.
Yeah. I don't know if I could deal with like multiple partners.
Maybe spow.
That's good. I like that. Yeah. So
Should email that straight to the Church of the Latter-day Saints. Just so they update their terms and conditions. So Dan was at IKEA over the weekend, and he was getting fluffy kitchens. Or was it fluffy things for not so fluffy kitchens?
No, the kitchens aren't. No, the kitchen is just like a wooden kitchen you buy and you assemble.
Is it full
It comes
size?
with like really cool little usable pieces, like little miniature cake tins that go in the kitchen that you can use in a normal kitchen. That's pretty
Sounds
cool.
like a small kitchen.
It's like a tiny. You could probably plumb it in if you wanted to, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. But
So if you could send your forwarding emails about your mini plumbing expertise to
yeah.
Dan Clark at danclarksemail.com.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really want to talk about a kitchen. Like, it took me like 8 hours to build until like 3 a.m. It was not an enjoyable experience.
Oh, and I'll spend an hour talking about it.
I'd love to say the look on their face in the
Round it
morning
out
was
to
worth
9.
it, but I was shattered.
Were you awake to see the look on their faces, or was it just the blurry kind of
No,
yes.
Laura got me up so that I could video it as they came down.
Is it so you could watch it properly later after you slept?
No, because I got ready for work. Heidi loved it. Hazel couldn't really care less.
Thanks for the shed, Dad.
Next up, little miniature dishwasher.
All the joys of adult living.
It was okay though, because I always walking around IKEA is always a fun experience because you always see, you would see real stereotypes of people, like.
I just meant more like playing with the furniture.
Yeah, I'm more of Luke.
Like, you're like, oh, there's a bonsai tree, let's pick that up, and then like halfway around you get a bit bored and you're like, actually I don't want a bonsai tree, but you get distracted by a rug. And then you like look at the rug and then you're like, oh, but look at all the pillows now, and then you're like, oh, should we jump in the pillows? Yeah, let's jump in the pillows.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sort of a household haunted house.
I want to go IKEA shopping with you now, Luke.
It would be one of those places
It's
that's kind of
quite
called, like, I feel like it would be one of the best places to be locked into at night.
Well, no, in
The browse of your life.
Yeah, it'd be great.
apologies for the reference. In Hong Kong.
Did you go to Hong Kong?
I did. No, but they were open 24/7 and used to get all the nannies, like the Indonesian nannies that work for Hong Kong families, on their days off. They would just spend the entire day in IKEA because they could just sit on the sofas.
Oh,
They
you send someone else on your behalf to IKEA?
No, they don't send them. They go on their day off.
Oh, what,
Be-
for a laugh?
Yeah, because they don't have a lot of money, so they can't go into restaurants and cafes. So it's free to go in. So they just go into IKEA, sit on the sofas, relax,
That's
fill
like-
up a table, eat their lunch.
It's like they're modelling it.
Yeah, no, well, it is. They just treat it like somewhere to chill. They do the same thing like McDonald's there because they're all 24 hours. They just go in there and like spend 5 hours sat in McDonald's.
I have always wanted to do a work from home day from McDonald's.
Yeah.
If you're listening, management,
Whoever that might be.
please don't judge me too harshly.
I don't think they would stop you. You can probably just do it.
Yeah, that public Wi-Fi, that public setting. I'm sure that's good.
Homeless guy behind just snoring away.
Only thing stopping me at the moment is that Mackey's is closed. And it is a wound to our hearts.
It's painful.
Mackey's-
Mackie D's blecky.
Mackey's
I've got
closed.
withdrawals.
What do you mean it's closed?
It's closed for refurbishment.
So we can't order any brekkie.
Oh no, what are you going to do?
Not order Mackey's for one, Dan.
Well, there you go.
And it's
It's scary.
It hurts.
Is it, no, that's your body recovering.
Yeah, precisely.
recover.
It hurts.
You suffering from withdrawals of hash
I
brown.
am like sweating out, but that could also be because of it.
We're all blaming it on Mackey's, regardless of the actual source of our pain.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever get food at IKEA?
Yeah. We got the girls' lunch. It's really good actually. Yeah. The food's really
I
good.
think I might have just killed Luke with that
You
sick
have.
segue.
Well, like when you know it's prepped, you can't help but be like, "Wow, that is the worst segue ever." But it was actually good, which is what caught me off. It wasn't about it's the food at IKEA, and I was like, "Oh shit, he wanted to talk about that." Set me off.
Well,
I just ruined.
you just killed
ruined the image.
Any goodness in that segue has completely died in your hands.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway.
You've got to break the wall, yeah.
Yeah.
The fourth wall.
Yeah, the food's pretty good. It's only the meatballs. Though,
What cracks me up is you go, the food's pretty good, and then do the classic, but no, it isn't, by going, yeah.
Okay, some of the food's good. The rest of it's just like any canteen food. Like they do like the dime cake, which I've never seen anyone else do, and they obviously do their meatballs. But
Yeah.
the rest of it's just like real basic fish and chips and stuff.
But I love the hot dogs. The
I don't
dubious
know
hot
what
dogs.
I didn't see any hot dogs. I don't know. I think you've just bought something from some guy and you think
No.
it's I think there's probably some random guy that's selling weird hot dogs in an IKEA.
No, I think you just haven't been to...
What about your hot dog?
Oh, like at Wembley IKEA, because I went...
Alright.
Well, when I was...
Did you not get into the Knightsbridge one?
It was the closest IKEA to where I was staying at uni, and so we'd go like every 6 months or more frequently if we could, just to pretty much, as you said, Luke, just bounce around the furniture and look at stuff, and then have like dangerously cheap food. It was great. Solid day out with
There's a
your
lot of
friends.
stuff that's really shit now. Oh, okay.
Obviously.
Yeah. Well, in fact, all the pictures and stuff like that. There was like a couple of like 19-year-old kids, probably students, in front of the big pictures.
19-year-old kids.
They're
Yeah, they're still pretty kiddie.
Yeah, that's you could say they're kids.
Young adults.
From an adult perspective, you could say they're kids.
What are you saying about me, Dan?
You're not
You're
19.
not 19.
You just called me not an adult.
If we didn't have a visual,
You're not 19!
Yeah.
Dom, get in here.
He's not 19!
He was not that long
So
ago.
was I, so were you, but we're not anymore. That's the point. You're absolute invalids.
That's kind of how time works.
You saying I'm a 6-year-old because I was one time? Yeah, okay, sure.
Cast your mind back.
I'm hurt.
No, that's the
19.
Is that the lack of Mackey's talking?
No, that's the lung situation going on.
I'm doing really well. Don't bring it up. If I don't laugh too hard, No one will even know I've got TB.
They will, dude. You sound like a 7-year-old emphysema. Yeah.
I can't even picture that, let alone imagine the noise.
But anyway, yeah, the food's pretty good. Is there not a closer one? Is Milton Cleans the closest?
Milton cleans.
Cleans.
Cleans you out.
Yeah, Milton, he comes over, he cleans. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish. Wait, are we talking about IKEA or Mackey's now?
I mean,
I feel like you're talking about Mackey's.
I'm pretty sure there's one closer than Milton Keynes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a
Could
lot.
you imagine?
There's like 3 or 4 in Cambridge. Why can't the others?
It's not 3 or 4 in Cambridge, there's 2.
We did our research.
I don't know why I'm arguing. You've obviously checked.
Oh, what point?
Which one's
At
yours
what
from?
point do you know
Just the
your
one in the
life's
centre.
Dead end.
Yeah, the one in centre. Central.
Central.
See what you refers that one as central. Apparently.
Mackey's central,
Is
not
there-
Mackey's outside.
The one by Cheston is at West Cambridge. Or?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Sad times.
Nice. One of our. What's Dom doing?
He's just walking around.
Yeah, of course he is.
He just likes attention because he's 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did hear me yelling for a 19-year-old
Those
earlier.
19-year-old
Back me
kids.
up.
Yeah, indeed. What are you looking up?
I'm looking at McDonald's Cambridge.
Jesus.
Alright.
Reel them off for everyone at home.
I mean, I can't because none of these websites are any good. I'm more doing it for the visual aesthetic, so my brain feels like fooled into tasting.
Yeah.
It's not working.
No, I didn't think it would.
God damn it.
Wow.
You are just looking at pictures of burgers.
Look,
Right
shut
now,
up. Shut up.
I thought you only were in it for the McMuffins anyway.
I really am. But now it's...
Would you not consider a Burger King?
Would you not consider a Burger King?
I would consider a Burger King.
I would if they delivered, actually. I really like that.
Well, there we go. You'd consider a Burger King.
Yeah, but they don't.
deliver. Look, Dan,
Do they not? Why?
No.
I don't know, because they're weird like that.
You contact their customer support and find
They
out for
deliver
us.
in like select locations. Why are we talking about fast food?
To be fair,
Has someone been watching a film this week? Or something like
We need
talking
to
about our
take,
normal stuff.
we need to take
Why are we
Luke,
on Mackey's?
take Luke's mind off of his grief.
I mean, I'm still going to Google this in the background.
We're desperately trying to find a deliverable McDonald's before you slowly succumb to health.
Burger King now, would you shut up?
My TV is acting up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. There's 2 of us in this room. Like you're having a freak out, over getting the Mackie sweats, and Gabe over there is trying to keep his lungs in one piece.
Yeah, which means you have to keep this podcast together by talking about a TV show.
Right then, fair enough. So, have you seen Super Size Me?
No, I've heard of it, and obviously I think I know what it's about. People eating lots of stuff. Are you about to make a comment about me?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
about
no,
a guy that eats McDonald's for a month solid.
That is not me.
He's keeping track. But no, seriously, on a slightly more normal note, were you going to watch Dark, or did you decide to watch something else?
No, so I did watch the first episode of Dark, and we can talk about that another time. But I want to watch a couple
Wow.
more before I go into it. I didn't really get into it, so I want to give it another shot. I feel like it's fair to give it another watch. But
Dan's already been more fair than I've been in the entire run of this like little Netflix originals arc.
Flaky down.
no, but
Right.
I have watched The Staircase.
I like Stairs. I sometimes watch them too. Not much happens for him.
Alright, yes. Luke, why don't you take 5? Go get yourself something to eat.
I like Stairs. Great. yeah, I'm sure that's what it's about. Really long staircase.
How does everyone feel about slopes?
It's actually a documentary.
I mean, I
Would they
wouldn't.
weigh up the various angles of stairs? Are they steep? Are they large? Who knows? Let's find out.
Sometimes you can get those really narrow ones.
Louis Theroux covers it brilliantly.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's Netflix. You never know what their documentaries will cover next.
I like Stairs.
I wanted to put that out there. Shout out to everyone else who likes Stairs. Do you like Stairs? Let us know in the comments.
Will they help me get from A to B?
They do. They do.
Right.
They're a little bit more leisurely than a ladder.
I'm going to be honest, I don't like stairs.
What do you not?
No. If I could avoid having stairs, I would.
Oh wow, that's that's controversial.
Yeah, keep the McDonald's on the ground floor.
Exactly. You don't want to have to burn those extra calories.
What if you want to get up? If you want to move places?
You can move places without stairs
How?
by moving places.
Escalator.
Oh,
You mean move up?
the evolved form of
You
the
could
stair.
you could have a lift.
Achieve flight.
Yeah.
I feel like not everyone's got that power, you know. Like,
Yet.
are you really
A bit
hoping?
like we don't have McDonald's.
Yet.
Yeah.
See?
Alright,
Don't let dreams be dreams.
true. Sometimes you just gotta do it.
Right, so staircase then.
Yeah.
Is it the staircase or just staircase?
Is it spooky,
The
scary,
staircase.
Starrington?
It's not spooky, scary, Scarrington. Although the guy is pretty creepy, scary, Scarrington. So it's a I don't know how to best put it. Docu-drama,
Murder.
but it's a true story, crime story.
True story, bro.
Netflix doing another similar kind of series like Evil Geniuses and stuff like that.
Oh, my mum's well into that.
Yeah, yeah.
In the
Okay.
brain.
It's kind of similar, but it's not. He's not. The whole point of this is it's a case. He isn't necessarily an evil genius. It's not a conviction.
Yeah.
It's looking at a famous case in like American legal history.
Yeah.
And when they were going through it, the defense team were recording all of their meetings,
Okay.
and the family would record themselves. And so afterwards, now they kind of put it together into this. Like I don't know how many episodes. How many episodes? is this?
13.
Yeah. So there's. I'm only 3 episodes in at the minute,
Mm-hmm.
but it just lists the developments as they go from the moment it happened
Yeah.
and through the defence's team. I don't know the overall theme of the entire series, obviously, because I haven't seen it all yet. But I know the story is about, in reality, the whole point of it was it showed the absurdity of the legal system
Mm.
in a situation where there was an inability to prove any kind of conviction.
Yeah.
But also at the same point, from the defence's point of view, there was no way that they could prove innocence. So you had this kind of limbo
Mm.
where there was the prosecuting team felt this overwhelming.
Is it meant to be innocent until proven guilty?
Well, yes, but
So then surely you drop the case. If
no,
you
no.
can't prove
But
it,
the circumstantial evidence and like you have to watch it.
But the burden of proof lies with the prosecution. So
But
if
they
can't
have
prove it,
proof.
then
No, but they do. That's the point.
Oh, okay.
They have proof. They have motive. They have evidence. They have everything. But the only witness is the husband. So okay, let me
Okay.
explain that.
Okay. So what's the actual case?
So
Spoilers for
I'll
the
give a
staircase.
summary of the first episode, which isn't really any spoilers because I mean you can Google this anyway. But so a husband and wife. There's I think the guy Michael Patterson. He's a famous, semi-famous Vietnam War author, and he
Okay.
writes various books.
Mhm.
Not huge, but you know he does pretty well for himself. His wife is quite a high-powered executive
Mhm.
for a company called Nortel.
Okay.
They're both in their like early 40s.
Yeah.
Early 50s maybe. I don't that kind of range, middle age.
40s, 50s.
Yeah. So the first episode starts with the like 999 call and the explanation of what's happened, and so the wife has fallen down the stairs, one
Yeah.
of the back staircases, this rather large mansion they live at.
Yeah.
And the staircase is quite steep, and she's found at the bottom of the stairs covered in blood. There's blood all over the staircase, on the
Mm.
floor, on the doors, a lot of blood.
Mm.
Now, there's no way that it looks like she could have possibly fallen down the stairs on like that.
There's
That
no
wasn't
way.
the only situation. Like there's blood. Like you don't fall down the stairs and explode. Like,
True.
and the whole point is the story goes about the husband was by the pool.
Mm.
His wife had gone into the house at like 9 p.m.
Mhm.
and he had followed in at like 11:30 and found her at the bottom of the stairs,
Yeah.
semi-conscious. Phoned up 911, said my wife's dying, she's not conscious.
Mm.
The call dropped because he was hysterical. Then he phones back 10 minutes later and says she's not breathing, she's not conscious.
Yeah.
And then the police and the ambulance turn up and it goes from there in their investigation of the case. But there's a lot of weird aspects. Firstly, the husband is extremely strange.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things he does that are really weird. Like at one point the defense team have the pictures of the body
Mm.
and they're showing the back of his wife's head, which is covered in lacerations,
Ooh.
like she's been beaten, but there's no bone breakage.
Okay.
So normally you'd expect someone that's hit over the head. Yeah, there's lacerations, a lot of blood, but you'd expect some bone
There's
fractures.
being a little bit of a
But there's
dent.
not. Yeah, but there's not. But so there's obvious evidence of attack, but no complete evidence.
Speaking of attack, can you cease your assault on the table?
No. But yeah, so
He's laying into it.
I am.
So yeah, she's got quite a few cuts going on, but no like.
I think one of the prosecuting agents said if she wasn't at the bottom of the stairs, they would have been able to convict him of domestic abuse and murder in first degree because of the nature, but because of he's put the situation.
It's conceivable that she could have fallen and that be the cause of death.
Yeah, and this is the kind of way that
the defence used that to fuck with the jury quite a bit.
They do the whole thing where they put microphones out by the swimming pool and they show that if someone fell down the stairs that's shouting for help, they couldn't hear because there's a fountain that would obscure the sound. But then then in the second episode you find out when he called the ambulance, she had already been dead for quite a long time. When the ambulance turned up, the blood was dry on the walls and on the floor, and she had multiple layers of blood on her, like as if she had fell or something had happened and she bled, and then sometime later something else had happened and she bled again much more vigorously.
Ooh.
So there was all these really strange, and then so the defence had this idea that she had fallen down the stairs halfway, woken up, tried to get back up and fallen again. And then all of these, it gets really complicated. And then the defence team kind of start to resort to, well, it's strange. It's really hard to explain. Their argument basically is that he was out by the pool, he didn't know what was going on, he loved his wife, and it always comes back to the familial heartstrings, like I love my wife. Whereas the prosecution,
cold facts.
Well, yeah, they seem to have a lot of evidence that you would have expected in normal situations it would be an easy prosecution. They were alone in the house. The injuries don't seem to go with falling down the stairs. There are a lot of physical situations, but they have to prove it. And so then they bring in these experts and they're looking at the way the lacerations fall, blood spatters, the clothing, and there's no conclusive, like they've got like 98% of the evidence they require, but there's just always something missing.
Yeah.
And then it switches in the program and it shows you him in the kitchen with his brother, like the defendant's brother.
Is this like one of those dramatic reenactments, or is
no,
this
no, this is the actual footage. And then they're talking about the pictures. So when the autopsy was done, they've got pictures of the body, and they're looking at pictures of the lacerations of her head, where they're horrific. And the brother is like, "Oh, I hate looking at this. It's really visceral." And the husband's like, "Oh, I don't see what the problem is." Ooh. And there's lots of little creepy kind of pointers. But then on the next token, you find out that he's actually done a huge amount of work and like taken on adopted children, and so he's living like this dual life, or it seems to. But he's got he adopted 2 children of his best friend that died.
Right.
He's got a charity that he runs.
The perfect cover.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. So you start to get into a situation. Well, is he bipolar? Is he like in your head? Like, because as you're watching this, I didn't want to Google. He
didn't want to get spoiled for the ending, folks, and neither should you.
No, it's really good. It's a really good thing to just watch along because your mind can constantly changes. You're like, well, that's really creepy.
Do you feel a bit like you're on that jury?
Yeah. My initial reaction was he's absolutely guilty. He's creepy. There's something off. This doesn't seem right. But then as you get to know him, and that's kind of the point of the show, the defense says, we need to show them your loving husband. And the show does a great job of intersecting these creepy-ass moments where he's behaving strangely or doesn't seem with it.
Does it feel like the show's on neutral ground, or do you reckon the show's got an angle? You're 3 episodes in.
I don't think they're angry. I just think they're doing a good job of balancing one against the other.
Yeah.
There's a couple of big bombshells that I'm not going to be specific about that happen.
Yeah.
That you kind of think, why are the defense lawyers not talking amongst themselves about this? Do they not have reservations? Because they act always like he's 100% innocent, which I'm sure they should. But it does beg the question. You sit there like, well, are you not questioning this in your head? And then.
But they don't get to choose they can choose their case. Usually it's a case of they get it and then they just sort of have to go with it, and someone has to do it.
Well, they can recuse themselves.
Yeah.
But it's just the sort of I don't want to say callousness, but everydayness. They don't clean up the house because it's an active crime scene. And even though the police
Is he still living in that house?
yeah, this is
fucking hell.
no, and the family is still living there, and there's still blood all over the walls, and they're still like. This is the thing. I find it strange. I remember there's a point where he's walking down the same staircase with his son.
Are you allowed to on a crime scene?
Yeah, no, because the police have come and gone. They've got everything they need, but the family themselves haven't cleaned it up because they're using. As evidence, they've got their own experts coming in trying to prove this is. But it's just you're still living in this house, you know, and it's not. It's just it's.
I've got 3.
Come here, little Lenny, just step over mummy's remains. Like, what?
Well, obviously the body's not there.
It's so messed up.
I mean,
yeah, it is.
For a start, you just want to clear the heck out for, you know, less scarring the better. Another thing, it's a crime scene. Don't muddy it up with your everyday life. And a third thing. Dang, kiddo, that don't look good that you're just comfortably living on.
Dang, kiddo.
Dang, kiddo.
What have you been watching? Like Skippy? Damn,
He's really
Skip.
into his Clint Eastwood, isn't he?
Dang.
Yeah, it's just really strange. There's a lot of stuff, and you just think this guy it seems, and then you find out that he's actually lied about loads of stuff. Like he tells everyone in his books and stuff that he was injured in Vietnam. And you find out actually he was flown back from Vietnam to.
Calcutta.
No.
What was Donald Trump's excuse for not
Turkey.
serving in Vietnam? Something.
He was flown back from Vietnam at the end of his tour to Turkey, and he was in a Jeep accident, like a car accident. But he was like, oh yeah, I was in an accident with I was shot, like, and he finds out he lies, and then you find out that he actually has been having affairs with men. And they find that the police released the information that they found like gay porn on his computer, that he'd been having gay affairs, and then obviously all of a sudden they've got a motive. Like,
He wanted out of the relationship.
no. I think the point they want, did the wife find out?
Oh, okay.
So the whole point is that they've got her. The last track they have her that afternoon was on a conference call, like some work thing, but it would have been from his office on his computer. And so then there was the whole point that does the wife find out, confront him? Then there's an altercation.
Which goes a bit far.
She's killed, and then he throws her body down the stairs.
Yeah.
Tries to
when
cover it up.
she's semi-conscious or not quite dead, to try and cover it up. And that's the kind of the position the prosecution takes, which seems pretty. But then the defense is counter that by saying, look, he's always been bisexual. He has gay affairs, but his sexuality isn't
Yeah, it
indicative
doesn't make him a monster.
Exactly. So then, but
it doesn't, but it does also give the prosecution a motive.
Yeah, and this is why it's really good, because you've got both sides of the coin. So you've got the civil living side, that is his sexuality, whether or not he was committing adultery, is not make him a murderer.
Yeah.
But then the prosecution's like, okay, well, yeah, but you've got a motive. And then so the defence has to prove that the wife had known that he was bisexual, that had known he was having affairs.
So, proper complicated.
Well, no, surely the prosecution have to prove that the wife did find out, not just she was using the laptop, therefore she could have found out.
No, I think it went beyond that. Like, they got to the point where, obviously that was the motive, but that if it was a possible motive, not that it was a motive, if it's a possible motive, could they kind of take the investigation to the next level?
Yeah, but even then, surely it's still the prosecution to prove that that is a motive and that did exist, or as a defence can be like, look, you have no evidence to back that up, so stop making it a thing.
Well, no, I think the point was they found out that maybe she had found
hits
out.
it big.
Potentially she had found out, but potentially she had found out before, and that because his brother came forward and said he had like arbitrated between them about a year before, in a personal matter that
It's
he
still
wouldn't
saying
go
potentially
into.
though. I'm just saying that wouldn't fly in the court of law. Like if someone was whipping out potentially, I'd be like, I don't care. Like, facts, like,
But
you could easily.
But this
argue
is
that.
this is the point they have to, because they can't quite prove it, but they've got so many potentials, and then the defence resorted to another point. Okay, look, this is a perfect storm. It's a coincidental, and they try to play it off. But the other thing as well, this is not taking place in New York. This is taking place in like Carolina, quite a very conservative state.
So they'd see that as, oh well, you know, that'd be a really big, again, you know, backdrop, societal views. But if say he was in a big Carolina firm, which was quite deep conservative values, that being outed would be bad news for his career.
Oh, you mean the guy? No, he's an author. He's self-employed. He's not. He's not. The point is that he's.
But
his jurors, like they assembled the defense team. It's really enlightening because you kind of see how far the American justice system goes, and it's really weird to watch. At one point, they assemble a fake jury, like a mock jury, and hold a whole mock trial to find out what he might be pushed with, and just to I didn't even realize that was a thing you could do. Like, so his lawyers assemble 12 members of the public and hold a whole trial against him to find out what viewpoints and biases and what aspects of the homosexuality might
So like a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, but
That's so
for a murder,
for a trial,
for a murder case, a dress you're
Which going to prepare you for this?
Exactly.
Like, you'd surely not. Like, that's a weird one.
There's other stuff.
Why
Like
the
he goes,
lawyers make so much money.
Yeah.
They have to pay for their dress rehearsal.
There's a moment where his lawyer, I think I remember his name, David,
actually have very little profit because all the money goes towards paying for all these people to come in twice.
Well, I
I
don't
can
know.
imagine the company might pay for it if they make a good enough case for why they need it.
I don't know how law works.
Just because you're not a lawyer, mate.
Yeah.
Neither am I.
Need to lawyer up. They make at one point they want to hold a survey to find out how much his homosexuality and affairs affect his standing in the case, because they have like two options of how to portray it.
Yeah.
So they released this survey to 1,000 people, and the lawyer's sitting there with the guy and his brother, and he's like, "Well, you know what? This is going to cost you $35,000-$40,000 for this survey. So you're going to do a survey to 1,000 people to ask them if my homosexuality offends them." And he's like, well, "What am I paying $40,000 here for?" And he's like, "Well, if we find out an unknown..."
What paper, mate? I'm not going to be honest. We need to hire a few lumberjacks. Yeah, they've got to cut down the trees. We've got to take those trees to processing, and also they're illegal, so there's an extra 20 grand right in there.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot. All right.
But it is a bit.
Was this before Survey Monkey?
I don't even know what
Trawler.
Survey Monkey is.
True that.
It's definitely before. This is like 2001.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Because if you did that today, you just go on like Instagram and be like, "Boys,
Yeah.
hashtag."
Hashtag what, Gabe?
Let me think. I have to craft this in a way so it would trend, but would also get the point across. Hashtag does my sexuality offend you? Hashtag
That's
see
really
you in
catchy.
court.
Yeah.
It's catchy enough.
Is it?
Yeah. That would fly on Instagram and possibly Snapchat, definitely Facebook.
But not on Twitter,
No,
where it started.
too many characters for Twitter.
No, it's not. I think they've upped it like 270 now.
Yeah, but I mean, only like Trump uses that, man. They upped it for him.
I don't think Trump.
No,
Anyway,
it doesn't. It's
so-
more like thank you, Kanye.
Yeah.
True.
Win.
So anyway, you're 3 episodes in and all this has already happened.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a.
And you've got 10 episodes left.
We're pretty excited. When we go home tonight, we're watching probably another 2 or 3.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
it's genuinely really interesting. I still think he's guilty. I don't, and it. I think the thing I find most offensive though about the show is how badly it portrays the justice system in America. At one point,
Do you find that offensive?
Do you think
I find that offensive.
Do
yeah.
you think
No,
it's...
but why?
Because it's only financially based. The only reason he can afford to defend himself and he's not already in prison and had to take a plea deal is because he has money. If he had been poorer, he would already be in prison. And he'd probably be on either a life sentence or in certain states the death penalty. So, and at one point he even says that. He says, if I didn't have money, I wouldn't be able to defend myself. I would already have been prosecuted. I would already have been convicted. And the only reason that rich people slip through the cracks is because they afford to pay their way out.
Mm.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He hires a professor from Carolina University who comes in and is
Kills him too.
He walks him through how to act in court, and he's really good. It's actually interesting to watch him. He's a really cool, interesting guy, and I looked him up after. He's like been a law acting professional, and he teaches at a university the body language and the subtleties of law.
Is it like how to abuse it, or just how to be clear so
No,
that
just
people
how
don't
to-
misinterpret what you say?
Not how to abuse it, not even how to be clear, just how to hold yourself, how to think about things, how to he walks him around and like shakes his arms and gets him to sing and do re mi in front of hundreds of people.
Is it kind of
That he
like
brings in to just build his confidence. Then
Is
he
it a
sits
bit
him
like-
down and
public speaking?
yeah, this is what I mean. It's weird. This is a defendant in a murder case, and you're training him to.
Defend himself.
But no, it's not.
No, it doesn't sound like that.
It doesn't sound like that. It's training him to get off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's-
it's not necessarily
So you need
defend
to-
himself justly.
That's not. That's
but
not.
defend
That's not
himself
justice
from.
by the facts. That's justice by your ability.
Yeah, that's like you need to look confident. So when you say stuff, people won't look into that and be like, "Oh, he looks nervous when he was
Yeah.
saying it." To
Exactly.
But no, that's what I mean. Is he's
Mm.
defending himself from prison, maybe not justly. So you were offended. Would you say,
Not with him. I mean,
No,
just the
but
general
like-
justice system. Yeah.
kind of revving back a bit, when you said it offended you about the American justice system, would you say that it did a fairly unbiased portrayal of that justice system, or do you reckon, like, if I watched that, would I feel like they're leaning me towards one viewing or another?
No,
the
no.
US justice.
You've been poking
No,
for
I
some
d-
bias here for a couple of questions there.
Yeah,
It's-
boy.
After the
Yeah.
angle and eat, well, what on Netflix after game?
No, it does a good job of portraying multiple sides. It does, but none of those sides are enjoyable. I'll just pause while Gabe
Gabe
pops up
chokes.
a chunk of lung.
I feel like I was proper hocking up a hairball just. No jokes, kids. Tuberculosis ain't fun.
No,
No.
no. Be kind to badgers.
Yeah. So yeah, you,
Yeah, they suffer.
bit of a weird one that. But out of 10, what would you rate the first few episodes at? Dan?
So far, 8.5.
8.5.
8.5.
Where's the improvement points?
Um,
When expecting a follow-up was your slam dunk on your ass.
I don't really see where you.
Is it as much?
It's not the kind of thing I think you can improve. I mean, unless you're going to bring in a big budget. Like, it's just an honest portrayal of what's going on, and it seems like a pretty good one. But I just
Is it maybe not for you?
No, it is. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy the process, but I just find it a bit repellent the way people are able to be coached through it.
So the
It's-
content's more like, "Whoa," but it's important to.
Yeah, like at least pretend to be after justice.
Mm.
Even if this is going to happen, at least pretend to be trying to do the right thing.
So 8.5 out of.
Pretending's better.
Well, it's better than just ignoring it and not doing it at all. I mean, at least you're trying in some way.
So
It's just
If you're pretending you're actively
So-
protecting,
so the law.
attacking,
You-
most importantly, bring the financing back. But yeah, 8.5 out of 10, too honest.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just because you said about different angles. So all the law enforcement officers come across as very, like, what's the guy from Family Guy? Not Family
Peter
Guy.
Griffin.
The CIA one. The American Dad. What's the guy's name? Stan Smith. Yeah. It comes across like him. Every single one of the agents, they come across like hardcore Republican, hardcore conservative. You can tell they're all gun owners. They hate him because he's like. You get the impression they've got biases.
Are they super white?
They're very white.
Oh,
But that, and then you get the other side of it. But then the only person that gives a liberal point of view is the defendant. There's at one point he's in the car and he's driving through like an area and he's like, one of the worst things I hate is that this area here is black and this area here is white, and it's always been like that since the 50s. We've tried to integrate, but we get pushbacks. And he gives really liberal points of view about how he does drives to help with integration and all of this kind of stuff. And it's weird seeing that from the person that's accused of murder.
Well, murderers can be liberal.
No, but when...
I'm just putting that out there. guys.
8.5 murderers can be liberal.
hashtags killers can be people too.
The solid stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch.
It sounds worth a watch.
Yeah.
It sounds good, even if it's not enjoyable.
I would say if you don't like staircases, probably avoid it.
There's a show of staircase quite a bit.
There's a lot of staircasing, yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot of gratuitous staircase.
How many
actually.
stairs?
Oh, quite a lot. It's a big staircase. In actual fact, it looks like a brutal staircase.
Oh, brutal.
It's like hard wooden steps. It's quite like 2 floors down.
You can tell that they brought that up in court.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't. They haven't really. I haven't got to the court yet. It's all the pre-trial, all the
wow.
preparation. Yeah.
Oh, you'll see that case in court along with the stairs that went with it.
Yeah, it'll be a step up.
A
Step up to the streets.
quality film that.
Watch that.
I mean, it's not a Netflix.
Just setting you up for next week.
It's
Gabe.
not a Netflix original.
I don't know. It could be.
It's not very original.
What if they made Step Up 6?
If it was a
The streets, it doesn't work as well.
No, it really doesn't. All right, what am I watching next week?
Oh, you know. I
like how you
Film
say
that
that.
air.
You
Film
said
that
that
air
really
real quick.
loudly. Oh well, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
what have you,
I
what
was
have you
gonna
been
start
watching?
rambling.
What have you been watching this week?
Well, I haven't really been.
Other than gratuitous amounts of anime.
Oh damn, that was my one fallback.
Why don't you do what Dan never could and watch Dark?
I've already seen it.
Oh well.
That's why I recommended it.
Why does it have to be like that?
It was the first Netflix show that I watched actually.
Have you seen it?
Less attitude. Oh yeah, 12 times back to back.
Yeah.
You just told me to have less attitude.
Yeah, I have less attitude, man. Stand by what I say. What about Sense 8?
12 times back to back. Wait, what?
No, watch Sense 8. I don't know. I just got a picture though.
Is this like a...
Don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I'm not going to look into that. That's Sense 8. By the looks of things, there are 7 people.
Oh.
Oh no, I lied. One of them just cropped out of this image.
I was
There are
going to
8
say,
people.
it would make a lot of sense if there was 7.
I mean,
I don't know. 7
would
would have been a real mystery. Who's number 8?
A real mystery. Maybe one of them got pushed down the stairs.
Oh, segue.
Stairs.
Ooh.
On a random point, stairs are one of the top killers in the world.
That's
Yeah,
not
they
true.
actively go out of their way to kill people.
More people die falling down stairs than die from disease or...
What about mosquito bite stems?
I don't know about
Prejudice
mosquito
against
bites.
steps.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes and stairs are probably quite,
I hate that band.
probably quite a contenders.
Oh.
You talking about Steps the band?
No. Big up Best Club.
Reach for the stars, Luke. Reach for the stars.
Smooth.
Hey.
Was H from Steps?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I really don't. Just wanted to moan at them because they kill people, a lot of people a year apparently.
Well, Steps.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate that,
More
man.
than diseases or something. I don't know. I was in and out like
Their music can be quite visceral.
Steps kill more people than disease.
I don't think all disease. I think probably certain diseases.
Wow. Don't know what direction that's a step in.
Okay,
Right.
let's move on from like staircases.
Alright, do animated films count as anime? But not animated in
What?
I
Japan.
mean, you're the expert here. I mean,
Well, I don't know. You guys
Do they
always judge
have
me.
the big wide eyes?
It's Spider-Man, so sometimes. Because when he's in his costume, the eyes are huge.
No, but that does not count.
So
That
is
does
Spider-Man
not-
okay?
Well, it depends. What's the art style outside? Is it anime?
No,
Does it look anything like Pokemon?
no,
Does it look anything like Yu-Gi-Oh?
definitely not.
Well then,
well then what?
it's not anime then, is it?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
He knows it's not anime. He's just
Yeah.
he's just poking, isn't he?
I'm just
Look.
poking. I'm seeing how much you know.
I'm getting into him because he knows what the answer is. He's just being a knob.
Is this true? Gabe?
My master plan, much like my tuberculosis, has been found out this week.
You're like a window. You see right through.
Oh.
Alright,
Off into your hanky boy.
peace out everyone, I'm off. So a couple weeks back, Sony dropped the trailer for another Spider-Man film, because they haven't made enough yet. Into the Spider-Verse, which I think I sent to you two.
Into the Spider-Verse.
I can tell Dan watched it.
The second you said that, I just knew you'd fuck up. Because I've not seen it either, but now you want to commit to it, I can jump in.
Of course you ain't seen it. Like, as if you
I might have watched it. Spider-Man's pretty cool.
Dude, you're about
Yeah,
to
he's a
prep
cool
for these
dude.
meetings as Germany was for Russian winters.
As they
Just
were
show
for World Cup 2018.
Oh, alright. That's my sweepstake out. Shall we pause for a second so you two can catch up? And
Well,
then
no, you tell us
No,
about it.
tell
You
us
do that with other stuff. Why you go out being like this? Breaking my heart, man.
Because I thought you keep up with this. I know you don't
No,
keep up
I'm
with the
currently
Netflix
doing a
one.
little jig.
Okay, hold on. I got this.
Alright,
Why have
alright.
you got this?
Because I've got this.
Okay, hang on.
I've got a small take from my MTV.
I've got a picture. That
Spider-Man
is definitely
crosses
not anime.
parallel dimensions and teams up with Spider-Men. Is that the correct plural? Spider-Men?
I thought it was a spow.
Spider-Mal?
It's like that classic quote from Friends where they're like, "Why is he a Spider-Man?" Like not a, and he's like, "Well, his name is like Neil Spiderman." You just met up with lots of Neil Spider-Man.
Is the collective noun obviously Spider-Man? Okay, that's good to know.
You keep going down. I'm loving your explanation. This is what I mean.
It's not a very long explanation. So to stop a threat to all reality.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to point this out. I mean,
I can tell Dan hates Spider-Man.
No.
You can just see it in his
this
eyes.
has got nothing to do with Spider-Man. I know this is a.
Right.
Firstly, a threat to all reality across dimensions. If it's a
Yeah.
different dimension, it's a different reality.
No.
So the other Spider-Man.
Here we go.
The other
Here we go.
Omnipotent, if that's the right word.
Omnipotent.
How would you say it?
Omnipresent.
Thank you.
Yeah, Spider-Man isn't omnipresent.
I didn't say, but no, he's preventing the threat that is.
What?
Spider-Man isn't omnipresent, but the threat to all realities is omnipresent.
Do you want me to like take you through the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay, take me through the trailer.
Take me back to my swan loving.
Alright, so the film / story is based on, for a while, Marvel did a spin of comics called The New 52, I believe it was, or the Ultimate Series. The idea being they take all their characters and basically do something completely different with them.
Wow.
So you got like Female 4, you got a few other ones which didn't really make it, and a new guy playing Spider-Man called Miles Morales, who is a Latino boy in Brooklyn.
And he says, "So how many of us are there?"
So, spoilers potentially for Into the Spider-Verse. In Miles Morales' world, he witnesses Peter Parker get completely killed by the Green Goblin.
No way.
And he becomes Spider-Man.
That's rough.
Yeah, I know. He kind of does things a little bit differently. His dad's like a really hardline cop who understandably doesn't like Spider-Man, just like getting all the credit for only showing up once a day.
He's a vigilante.
Yeah, pretty much. He takes the place of, I guess, J. Jonah Jameson. You're fired.
He thinks he's above the law.
Yeah, and then that leads into this whole Into the Spider-Verse thing, because comics being weird and comics.
Just gonna say, is it a web of? Is it a web of?
Dan, just say your damn pun.
I saw the look on your face. You weren't impressed.
It's just because you kept saying, "Is it?"
No.
Is it? Bro? It's for eyebrows. You can't see this, listeners, but his eyebrows are doing something else. So yeah, the idea being that there's, to get away with a lot of different versions of Spider-Man, they're like, oh, every dimension's got its own take on Spider-Man.
Okay.
So like, there's one version where Spider-Man's in the future. There's one version where there's steampunk noir Spider-Man.
They had a game of this years
They did
ago.
have a game.
They did. I heard it was good, but I never played it.
Steampunk Spidey.
So the premise of this being something happens that brings them all together, and then we've got to go and stop something else, which is basically threatening all of them.
Omnipresent.
Yeah. So it's like,
Maybe
imagine
like,
a Spider-Man bad guy who can just be like, oh, I'm just going to jump through dimensions and just be evil everywhere.
Yeah.
That's
It's kind of like Jet Li the One,
a little bit.
but hopefully better.
I imagine it will be. It looks good. Like, animation style looks good. The kind of, from what I know, the take on Miles Morales looks good.
Are they doing different animation styles per universe?
I
like
don't-
if it's steampunk, they're going to go a little bit like grittier.
I think-
like that. And then if they go like to the regular one, that's like your cartoony one.
I think it will be a little bit, but not drastically so.
That's the thing I find these kind of like that specifically this pop where you have like multiple versions of the same person, it always gets a bit crap. Like you always like the way they sort of try to alter the dimensions, and you kind of lose any kind of, how to put it. It's not realism. Obviously, it's not realism, but like
You feel like it threatens the
it just
rules
feels
of the world
complete-
that it's in.
yeah, it just feels pointless. If there's no grounding to it, and if like you create like a black and white universe, like a or ridiculous stuff, then it just becomes, I don't know.
Well, it's obviously not grounded because
My
Spider-Man can web sling.
My physics education is crying out against this.
I'm excited for it.
Air quotations.
It's not the origin story done for the 5th time. It's something a bit new, and I don't know. I think you've got Tom Holland, who's a really great Peter Parker, and this could be a chance to have like a whole different take, a whole different story.
Who would you cast as Miles?
I don't know, but they've got someone cast. I haven't looked it up.
Yeah, but who would you cast?
I don't know that many young male Latino actors.
Well, if they're young, could be a good voice actor.
I don't know that many voice actors either. Other than the cast of Critical Role, I can't really reel that many off.
Okay, so just quickly, obviously, got a bit. Why? How is he able to cross them? Luke.
Dan.
Jesus.
I can't edit that out.
How the hell is he able to cross dimensions?
I don't know. That will show up in the film. I mean, this is a world where a guy can just have like 4 extra robot octopus arms and nobody kind of bats an eye.
Yeah, but at least
or Venom.
but there's the possibility you could build that. Like, how you can't just like decide to go through Mr. Ben's door to like Mr. Ben. What a show. Anyway,
a little throwback that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have an explanation. Probably some kind of accident happens and then invents a thing.
And he gets bitten by a spider.
Timey-wimey, whatever. One villain does a thing, he accidentally ends up in a place. Another villain's like, oh, cool, this is hot. And then escalates.
Yeah.
You can tell I don't write for films or cinema. But that's my hot take on it. I'm excited.
Yeah, so basically, by your definition, you know, something happens which leads to something else happening, and then there's a climax.
Boom. Film.
Why does that feel seedy?
Watching the staircase.
That's every blockbuster. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Also kind of excited for Venom as well. Good year for Spidey films.
Yeah, I am excited for Venom. Venom looks really good.
Yeah. I feel like Luke's excited not just for Tom Hardy.
No.
A little bit for Tom Hardy.
For Tom Hardy, he's an absolute hero.
Yeah, I feel like he's the right character to play it as well. That's good.
I watched The Revenant the other day.
Oh, did you?
It really makes me laugh about.
Had you not seen it?
No. What makes me laugh about his voice in that is it just sounds like Bane without the mask.
Yeah,
so
it really
the entire
does.
way through, I was like, oh, no one cares who you work. You've got the mask, mate. Like that was it, because they're all about like selling the pelts at the start in there, and he's like, no one cares who I was before pelts.
I've never seen someone. I've never seen someone care so much about beavers.
We gotta get these pelts back to the base.
It was the most simplistic storyline ever. All that made it good was how beautiful it was, and they filmed it in Argentina.
Yeah.
But
which is kind of
if
funny.
you read the there is like it's a true story, a semi-true story. There's a real story about how the guy. It's not fictional. It's like based on.
So a guy actually got beaten up by a bear.
No, it's one of these like 18th century stories that you would never believe, and you're like, shit.
Yeah, but is it one of
The
those
times
that
before were rough.
people like ride into town and they're like, oh my boy James
No.
Williams, he got that by bear. I swear I seen it. I don't see it. I swear it's so
No. So this was what I was going. So there was like 2 guys, and they were fur trappers. The two that are played by Hardy and DiCaprio, and they were in a town. And do you remember the names? You watched it just recently in the film. Glass and what's the other guy's name?
Fitzgerald or something.
Patrick Fitz. Just something like that. Yeah, I think they just call him Fitz. Don't they?
It's Fitz something.
Yeah. So they get into an argument.
Fitzbane.
They get into an argument in this like beaver shack on up in the northern lakes, and one of them, Tom Hardy's character, steals his gun and leaves him in the shack with no food and nothing. And he goes chasing after him, and it's when he's chasing after him he gets mauled by a grizzly and left for dead by the bear after he manages to kill it. He then crawls like 900 miles across America because he crawls in the wrong direction.
Do you remember the Proclaimers song?
Yeah, exactly. But he can't. He's got broken leg, broken arm.
I feel that's a better
something
story.
like
I would crawl 900 miles.
Yeah, imagine crawling. Like
right, Jesus, that touched you in the soul, didn't it?
It did a bit. I didn't expect that. I think I'm coming down with what Gabe's got. But
it's called Winston.
So he crawls 900 miles to this. He finds himself at some like American fort outpost. They take him in. He has a brandy. Spends a month getting himself together, and then goes out. Oh, yeah.
Just the one brandy in the month.
Then goes out. The doctor in the fort's like, you should be dead. Like, because he's been crawling so much, he ground his knees down. And he goes out trying to find the other guy, Fitz, to kill him. He finally finds him at a bar at another fort, and they have a few drinks and all settled.
What?
Dan's mind has literally been blown across the whiteboard.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if someone made me crawl 900 miles,
like a 2,000 mile round.
Well, we had 900 miles to get over it.
it would take more than a Jaeger bomb to chill you out.
Well, I think what got me is he got there, healed up, still some kind of like vendetta quest, and then however long it took for from being healed up to find him again, he was like, actually, yeah, I'm over it.
Well, that's the thing. In the show, he gets killed. In the show, it shows DiCaprio killing him. Obviously, because probably the director's like, "Oh, we can't just have him make up after this."
We also can't have
he
him go
throws
the wrong
into the
direction.
Native Americans and they scalp him.
Well, he's chasing him to kill him, isn't he?
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
just gets away. And but yeah, it was a pretty depressing film, all in all, isn't it? I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Apart from the visuals and like Leonardo DiCaprio's ability to act without actually talking,
yeah, just to
it
see.
was like that was all that was good about it. Other than that, I was like, this is the most basic story ever.
It's basically like a film of DiCaprio's poo face, just
Yeah,
for
it
2
really
hours.
I swear like half of it wasn't acting, it was just him being put in that situation, like, stay alive, Leo.
Well, he's like that, isn't he? He's a bit of a method actor, so he goes through
Yeah.
those rough situations.
But what gets me was you'd have these like long 10-minute things like, oh, beautiful, and then 5 minutes of intense action, which is like, oh shit, and then another 10 minutes of, oh, beautiful. And pacing wise, it just felt completely off.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
I did kind of feel like pushing it though. Like, how many times did he like almost kill himself, throws him off a cliff,
Yeah.
like in like freezing states.
Oh, here he runs off with a horse and it's like, brilliant.
Yeah, it got to a point where I was like, he's gonna live no matter what.
It's a Leonardo DiCaprio film. It's got to go 2 hours 50 at minimum,
Yeah.
or else
Wait.
he's not done it.
The bit where he gets inside the cow, I was like, you stole that from Star Wars.
Yeah, I think everyone was feeling that way. Just like, hey, come on.
It's a bit much.
Let's sort out the direction of this movie. Yeah.
It's been done.
Writers, come on.
Could snap.
Yeah, I know it's visually a good film, but I just come out of it thinking I never want to watch this again.
I was really
Yeah,
glad.
that was it. It was like that was a one-time thing for
Yeah.
me, and I was like, I can see why he got an Oscar for it, but for me, no, mate.
Yeah.
There's like, there's no story there. There's no point. I was just kind of like, yeah, alright, yeah, he's got revenge called cheers.
It's like a
But it was
visual-
the most basic story. Even the event that happened to him, basic as hell. I mean, the
Mm.
words to get hit by a bear. It was like,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And now I get to see you like for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, like with the bit where he's on the stretcher and they're all like trying to basically decide whether to leave him, and he's like, it's like, this is just horrible.
Yeah.
This is just like a visual representation of anxiety and depression.
Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's grim.
Because I'm happy.
You got anything uplifting?
Oh man. I still love, speaking of 18th century crazy stories, did you hear a story of a guy who performed his own like appendix cut out operation?
Yeah, let's talk about something happy.
Yeah, that sounds
Appendix
great.
cut out.
No, but he lived through it. That was
Have
the
you
thing.
seen 127
Yeah, and he was
Hours?
scarred.
No, no, not that guy. Like the Antarctic Russian explorer, who like he went on this, exploring trip, had to cut out his own appendix.
Oh, Antarctic Russian explorer.
Yeah, or maybe it was.
Because they
Arctic.
don't have enough snow in Russia. He wanted to go.
It might have been Arctic actually. It was one of the poles.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention as to where he was as much as the thing that he did.
That basically wouldn't make you an explorer, Gabe. You probably kind of need to pay attention to where you are.
I didn't pick geography when it came to like GCSEs.
That's fair.
I was a history boy.
No.
Yeah, but
It's my degree, for God's sake.
he knows, he is a nerd. But yeah, this Russian guy, he was out on his own.
Let's call him Vlad.
Right, we'll call him Vlad. I don't think that was his name, but Vlad
For
was
no
out there
reason.
on his own. Dan's coding, and yeah, his appendix was going to burst, so he had to like cut it out and do the whole operation himself.
How did you know his appendix was going to burst?
He was a doctor.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Not important.
And this is like 18th century kind of stuff.
Yeah. So he did it. He lived. Was a little sick, but he lived.
Was a little sick.
But yeah, basically, oh shit, yeah. He was the doctor, no one else had any training, and so he was like, yeah, you hold my hand, and I'm gonna just do it. And so from that incident, that's why if you go into space, or either of the poles, you have to have your appendix out no matter what. Because they don't want people to live through that again.
He was the first doctor to predict global warming. He's actually up there to heal the melting ice caps.
Turns out,
Prescribe them with some paracetamol.
turns out if you rub your appendix in the ice, it just grows.
Right.
That's how ice is born, Dan. You rub.
You can't
You
tell
gotta
me
rub in
that's
fresh
flair to
appendix.
that story.
Yeah, it needed something.
Oh God, went up there, he did a little shave on his belly. And what?
To be fair, I'm not going to say anything against them. I freak out at the dentist. I don't mind like operations, but the dentists really screw me.
Why?
I hate it. It's just horrible.
They literally screw you.
Well, I hope not. My dentist is a guy.
I don't condone homophobia on this show.
There wasn't homophobia.
Yeah, damn what?
What?
It all goes back to staircase. You're as deep-seated as those Republicans.
Jesus.
Damn, that's true. I would not be a good
We finally outed him as the non-liberal that he is.
Because I'm happy.
I don't think I'd be good as a juror anyway. I think I'll probably jump to a conclusion.
Yeah, you definitely would.
You might sprain your ankles from all that jumping
Oh, jeez.
Ooh.
to conclusions.
I think you would.
Audience
I think you would be thrown off the jury, Gabriel.
I wouldn't be allowed on.
It would just take one little mean comment.
Yeah, really would. You'd hold up a meme and be like, we find the defendant, but first this meme, and then you'd just be like, get out, we're done with you now.
You'd be like, we find the defendant over there.
Mario.
Judge just sentences you to 6 months.
Somehow I get a heavier sentence than the actual crimmy crim.
Well, no, you can. If you're on the jury and you negate your... I don't know what they call it.
If I negate my own responsibility.
Yeah, something like that. The judge can sentence you to, like...
Life in prison.
I don't know.
No more memes for you.
Learning and growing.
Oh, dear.
Life in prison is what I'm going to get after we pass Article 13.
What's Article 13?
We're going to ban memes in the EU, boys.
Oh, tell me
No,
about
they're
that.
not. They're upvoting the EU flag on Reddit, I think it is.
Oh,
the
that'll
EU,
solve it.
So the EU ban their own flag because it becomes a meme.
Really?
Like, it's one of the funniest moments I saw. I was like, that's actually hilarious if that actually works out. But if the EU actually do something, like, I don't think it will. I think it's a
No, but
ridiculous
they're not-
idea, but it's hilarious.
They're not banning the pictures of memes, they're banning you meme
No, I
and
know.
copyright content.
It's a joke though, but they're trying to turn the EU flag into a meme, so that way it kind of puts the pressure on the EU to ban the EU flag because it's a meme. Like, it's like one of those things where they've like whipped it around as like, and like clearly everyone on the internet's just thinking it's a bit of a big joke ball game.
Well, yeah, I don't know. How are they going to enforce it? They're going to... Okay, guys. Barnier, we need to track down Reddit user 912 sexiness.
No more snipping tool on your laptop.
Oh, my life.
No more word art.
No.
No more meme generator.
Am I going to live without my Comic Sans and my impact? This is having such a negative impact on me.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's okay.
You'll be
Memes
alright.
will never die.
Yeah.
not in my heart. I'll be a pirate.
You can always just imagine the pictures in your head.
I will be a pirate memer. It's not the same, Dan. It's not the same.
I know, Gabe, I know.
If I'm not here in a few weeks' time, you'll know what's happened to me.
What?
Been
Fell down some stairs.
Use has been mauled?
imprisoned for too many spicy memes.
I've seen a lot of your memes, none of them spicy.
Oh, bruh. Wholesome, at least a few of them.
Chuckle worthy on occasion.
Stop touching my respect.
Oh, wow. I feel like we're going into a dark place here, guys.
Yeah, the dark web full of Gabe's memes.
Are you on the dark web, Gabe?
Can either confirm or deny.
Deny.
So that's a yes.
I can't say on the show. But anyway, we've been talking about a lot of dark
Is
stuff.
that where you just put your hood up because we're talking about the dark web?
Yeah, I'm nervous now. Gabe's going to kill
So
me.
you've got to get your hacker on.
It just looks like a really chill Sith Lord, you know?
A chill Sith Lord.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever seen a chill Sith Lord.
Darth Elks. As long as you give him a cuppa, he's fine.
Darth Plagueis sounds like a good guy.
Yeah, Plagueis the Fourth.
Let me tell you a story.
One from the dead.
Wow, all it took was old wives' tales to corrupt Anakin.
He's a bit of an idiot. He goes from like having a loving partner and being a Jedi in about 9 minutes to slaughtering children. I mean, that's quite.
Bearing in mind, this is a guy who hates sand on the ground basis of being rough course.
That's a meme. He's dropping a
and
meme.
getting everywhere.
Oh, I like prequel memes.
Because they're great.
Are you in the prequel crowd, Gabe?
It's just the best thing about the prequels. Is all the memes.
Declare your allegiance.
I can love all the sources of memes.
All the sources.
All the sources.
I am the Senate.
that was good. Oh, right, that was nice. What else have we got to talk about? Otherwise, we're just going to descend into Reddit.
Gabe was about to say something dark earlier. We said dark web, and then we cut him off with Palpatine. Emperor Palp, big him up.
If you need to cut someone off, he's the man to do it, isn't he?
Yeah.
So dark. Where were you going with that?
I wasn't going anywhere dark in particular.
Oh.
I was just going to say I finally finished a show that I brought up on here weeks ago.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh.
So in one of the early episodes, I brought up
That no one else has also seen.
we have at least 5 views
Fuck off.
on one of them.
Yeah,
That's probably
you hit and refresh.
You can't prove that, guys.
YouTube original content checks.
You can't prove
Sure,
that.
making sure we haven't just copy pasted someone. Some guy's like, mate, check this out.
What's video of this guy? He really likes the first 5 seconds of this video. Oh, hit the 6 second mark. Boring. Refresh. But yeah, in the early days, I was speaking about this show called Megalobox. Don't know if you remembered it. Rocky Balboa, the anime.
No.
No, vaguely.
Was this mech boxing?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's right, get down then.
That
I'm
Transformers.
clearly more dedicated to this podcast than you are, and I've brought no topics to the table ever, or tapped it.
I mean, E3.
I'm not even named in this podcast.
Do it.
You do sound like you're getting a Palpatine on.
What is wrong? You're right. No, he doesn't. When he did it earlier, he sounded like, I don't know if you've ever played Arkham City, the Batman game.
No, I never.
He sounded like the Joker when the Joker's really in that game, and he's like... And he was doing that earlier as he was laughing, and I was like, this is creepy. Like, creepily similar. All you need is face paint.
Wow.
Have you been plotting?
He's got the grin for it, look.
Yeah.
I'm really self-conscious now. But no, it finished last week, and it was still a good show. Highly recommend.
What happened? What was the climax?
Well, I don't want to say because it was a spoiler. But what I will say is
I'm not going to watch it.
it's very similar to the ending of one of the Rocky movies.
He knocks him out.
Is it Rocky 4?
I mean, it's a boxing match, so I suppose that's going to happen to someone.
I must break you.
You will lose.
No, I think you should. I feel like
Is it similar to Rocky 4?
no,
Rocky 3?
like Rocky 1.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what the best scenes of all the Rocky movies is?
The best
It's where,
scene.
you know, the best scene ever is where they get the robot for Paulie, and then it's like, happy birthday, Paulie. And it like has all of the weird like sci-fi like...
Did you see it the other day? It was on.
compilation
Yeah,
stuff.
it was on like yesterday, I think.
No,
That's why I thought you brought it up. Yeah, no, that scene is really ridiculous.
It's so bad,
But
but it's hilarious.
It's even worse when you get the next scene. It cuts to Apollo Creed and Rocky, and they're sitting there talking about Paulie with his robot, and they're like, "Man, robots." Look at, and you know, this is like the 80s. That's basically a remote control car. Like,
It was just the way that they introduced it with like the close-ups and like the like flicking and the lights and stuff, and it's just like, happy birthday, Paulie.
it's basically like a walking disco.
He's gonna kill his uncle.
Apollo Creed's there like, "Oh man, robots are gonna take over." Yeah, if you're running a 70s disco.
Do you know, one of the things I like about those films is the bromance that those two have, and it's like it gets really homoerotic at one point. It's just fantastic.
What do you mean at one point?
Yeah, that's fair. It's just really enjoyable to watch. I'm like, look at these bros.
Of course it's enjoyable to watch.
It's
It's the most obvious storyline in history. What it is?
I don't know.
I like it. They're a great series of films, but well, not number 5.
It's so weird how they did so well, because it's kind of like, you know where this is going.
Yeah.
They still end up in the ring.
Can you imagine?
End up having a fight.
What I love is, can you imagine when they're pitching it? Like Rocky's sitting Rocky's
Oh, Rocky's just there.
Rocky's just there and
You should do another one.
There's Stallone's there with what's the guy that plays Creed? The guy that plays
Yeah,
Apollo
Geezer
Creed.
Boy.
What's his name? Gabe would know.
I mean, hang on, let me just get up Google.
Oh, he was in
From
Predator.
Predator, yeah, it's him, that guy. Anyway, they're sitting there, the bit on the beach where he's like, you know what, we're going to run along this beach, and then when I beat you, we're going to run into the ocean, and then we're going to cuddle, and then we're going to high five, and then we're going to go, yeah!
Freeze frame. No, but I like the premise for every film is probably whoever the director was. Did Sylvester Stallone direct these by any chance?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So every time, sitting there with the writers, like, well, this time, guys, what I want is I want, you know, a bad thing happens, then I have a comeback, and then I win the fight. Okay, we're doing Rocky 2. What happens? Okay, a bad thing happens, I have the comeback,
he
there's a
doesn't win it.
montage, and then I win the fight.
Did I have a montage in the last one? Oh no, I have 2 this time.
Okay, this time I get knocked back, I have to come back, I get knocked back again, then I come back, then I have a montage, then I
It's
win the
layer
fight.
upon layer. But that's
We're building
you
on it.
get to number 4 and he's like, I'm sorry, Polly, you're going to have to die. He's like, but I want to be number 5. It's if you watch the Expendables, like, isn't the new one, it's the same. Every single, like, Rocky, the number 1 is and number 2 and number 3 and number 4. They're all good films. But number 1 on its own was a fantastic film.
I could just imagine them all being really excited in a room, like pitching it like it's the most
brilliant
innovative
idea.
new thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like Jason Statham, like, yeah, no, we should definitely kill more people this time round. No, yeah, actually, not take away my girlfriend and I'll win her at the end. That's amazing. We've never seen that before.
You know what? I'll come around your ass and it'll be a dick. And I'll be like, alright, come on. And then I won't, because I'm a good guy.
And then Terry Crews just like, let me do the peck thing at least once. Only like, let me throw in an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, you can say I'll be back at one point. There we go.
Bruce Willis, you can be funny and say, no, you've been back enough. it's so shit.
How soon you can just be old.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's crazy. And actually no, I'm sorry. I know this is massively vivid. It makes me cringe when they're in the plane on the way back and they go do their little like ooga da booga da booga. Like if you, I
don't remember this scene, but go on.
They have a little like chant that they when they're on the way back from a mission, like ooga da booga the bad boys come, ooga booga the bad boy, and it's just cringe. It's just this is horrible. What are you doing?
It's just a bunch of guys having a good time.
No, it's just
on a mission. It's just a couple of army guys.
It's
just a couple of army guys on a mission with some guns on a plane. What are you going to run with them?
I feel like the high voice underpins the insecurity.
I don't get what the issue is. It's quality.
It's terrible.
It's just guys hanging out in a plane.
In the first film, they literally do what every 1980s action film. They create an imaginary country in Caribbean to invade and destroy. Have you seen Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger? It's the same film, but better. At least Arnold Schwarzenegger has a scene where he goes around a shop just picking up guns. It's just Stallone, man. What is that with Stallone?
Quality movies. It's just the image of them all sitting around in that room, like pitching their ideas on like a whiteboard, like Sylvester Stallone unable to write, and then like one of them guys. Like, just imagine like them just saying like stuff that's happened a million times before, but all of them getting so amped up for it, like the testosterone in that room, and then being like, yeah, that's sick, that's so good. Oh, give me a big machine gun. Yeah, damn straight, Terry, yeah. And then just, like,
Chuck Norris comes in kicking his way through the
then
door.
we should have a chant. We should have a chant like, ooh.
Yeah, we can't have that because that ain't Wolf of Wall Street. I know.
Ridiculous.
Stallone says, "I know. I got one. I used to do it at play school. Ooga da booga." It's just you know. Do you ever watch Family Guy? I can't remember if it was Family Guy. The Simpsons. There was a show that took the piss out of Family Guy about the way they come up with their storylines, and they have like a little slot machine, and they just pick 3 topics.
I'll be at front altogether.
Yeah, and that's kind of feels like the Expendables.
Yeah, but it's like conventional topics.
Yeah.
Explosions, plane,
Yeah, plane,
woman,
tank.
been stolen.
we need someone to blow up. Put a tank there.
It's good stuff.
Quality.
Gabe doesn't like action films.
No, I don't blame you when they're that bad. Anyway,
You guys,
We're looking at you now. Because
I feel like me and Luke
bit,
probably just worked out some.
All of a sudden, we want to make our own action film now. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Like, we want to get writing. We've got scripts ready.
I got to. I think I was born with scripts.
have you got your like dartboard of ideas?
We don't need one. We already know what the script is.
Oh wow.
I say we use Jersey, like
Or Guernsey.
Guernsey, yeah. Solid.
No,
We'll invade them.
You're just making up countries in the Caribbean now, Dan.
Exactly. We need some kind of like Latina lady who's going to be.
We'll invade them because they clearly have a private militia there.
Clearly.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Gurnites. The
They're always gurning.
The Jersits and the Gurnites finally get together and try and take down the UK.
Yeah, they commit an act of
Gotta have a
terrorism.
word, mate.
Like they kill a young, attractive couple.
Ooh,
I've got bulging muscles, I'll do you in.
Yeah.
there we go.
His mate's just been released from prison, but he's a good guy, really.
Oh, that's so original. Put that down.
But he's a good guy, really.
He's got a big heart, you know. Just misunderstood.
Give him a couple of minutes in the car journey to sort of talk about how it was all a mistake, but he's cool with it now.
Give him a couple of minutes of some traumatic situations and violence. He'll be fine.
It's exactly what he needs. Just get over this hard time he's had.
Yeah.
Oh,
He'll be a real
sake.
like productive member of society.
Really relatable.
He's smashing them in because he has a big heart.
He doesn't want to decapitate people.
He just has to.
He's just good at it.
Just has
You've got
to.
to play to your strengths.
He was tired. It was just a job, mate. Oh, that's another point. Someone's got to have had a job that went wrong that they always allude to. Here and
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And they're sort of like, oh, what about that job? And it's like, don't go there, bro.
Yeah, don't go there.
And then at the end you find out that actually the job is related to this job.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's actually a big betrayal on the rest of the guys. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it's
And
to do with this job.
And they definitely should have gone there and figured out what.
But then at the last minute, it turns out that he cares about the new guys more than the old job.
But no matter what problems come up in the film, explosion solve it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they took our girlfriend. All right, blow 'em up.
Yeah. And it's amazing where you can get a plane fitted with machine guns and bombs at short notice.
Well, if it's a problem to fit them, just blow it up.
Yeah.
Blow it up with a helicopter.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or anything really.
Actually, when the good guy gets out of prison at the start, blow up prison.
That's how he gets out.
Also, cover your tracks.
Blow them up.
Yes, that's it. You can just get through life blowing things up, don't you?
Blow mines out the back window as he drives. I'm actually a good guy.
He gives to charity, he does.
This has devolved.
Yeah, it has a bit. But then, to be fair, so is modern cinema.
Oh, shots.
Okay.
I want Dan's hot take on the Academy Award season after
Well,
that.
I feel like we've just come to the conclusion that Stallone's never winning another Oscar, but
You never know. You might.
Yeah, he's
what,
not
for
out.
Expendables 6?
He's not out of the game yet.
This time it'll be different.
But they're going to run out of washed-up action heroes before then.
No, we've got a new breed coming through now. Soon Fassbender's going to get there.
Fassbender's going to be...
No, I don't know why I said that. Broke my heart a little
he's-
bit to say that. I love him.
He's not there yet.
No.
He's got a long way to go.
Big up
Cumberbatch,
Faz. Cumberbatch.
I can see Cumberbatch and Stallone.
Yeah,
How do you see
no,
Benedict Cumberbatch as an action?
It'll be the other way around. It'll be like Eddie Redmayne and Benedict Cumberbatch get together to create like the opposite to the Expendables,
Yeah.
like the Datables,
That would be the name of the
the
film.
Dramatics.
The Dramatics. It's a pretty good name. I like it.
Good film.
Yeah.
Soon to be out. 2026 release.
I'll be down. It'll be full of original things you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just do the complete opposite of any plot of the Expendables.
Don't blow it up.
Don't blow it up.
We've got a problem. Don't
Yeah.
blow it up. And they should talk about that a lot. Oh, we shouldn't blow this up.
Yeah, and they should explain why.
Actually, because a lot of people will get hurt and they will die.
Yeah.
And actually, it doesn't really solve our issues, mate.
And then
Yeah.
something will happen that's really similar to something that happened in the past. But they'll actually talk about it, and they'll figure out, oh, well then we just have to do this then.
Oh yeah, and if we talk it out, actually, we solve a lot of our issues.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, it's probably not a good idea to fly to that small island nation and blow it up. because they're joining the UN soon.
This sounds like a really good film. Just the key moments, I can feel them already.
I can see the critics dissecting this and being pretty astonished.
Quality art piece.
Yeah.
So
God,
best picture sorted out. Dan and Luke, screenwriters.
Something.
God, imagine if this podcast ever picks off and there's actually a director who picks this up and they're like, yeah, let's get Dan and Luke in and do that. You somehow end up in Hollywood with that shite idea. And all Stephen and him talking about feelings.
Okay, I bought these boys all from the UK. Okay, so here's the pitch, right?
In all honesty, I would sell my soul if he gave me a ring. I'd be like, yeah, I'll be in the next one. Why
You would
not?
sell your soul.
No, you know what I mean. Like, if
Careful, he's got some weird chance. Like he might be after it.
if he was like, oh, I'll give you like loads of money to come over here and just shoot this terrible film, I'd be like, yes. Pick up Sylvie.
Pick up Sylvie.
Stallone's no longer alone.
I feel betrayed. Just so you can stand next to Chuck Norris in his waist-high like jeans.
Oh, yeah, I'd like let him kill me.
What, Chucky?
Yeah, like in the film.
Yeah. Right. All these guys are like septuagenarians now. They're all in their 70s, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of. It's probably going to be a
That's
very.
a word.
What?
A bit of a wooden out septuagenarian.
He thought he could whip it under the table.
Yeah, well, I'm a little septuagenarian.
Wow.
I'm just trying to make the point that like you're gonna go over there and sell your soul, and then you're gonna be basically in a pretty musty smelling room with a load of old men.
No, you don't know what they smell like,
It'll
Dan.
be great.
You don't know what they smell like.
Well, I can see the film. It doesn't.
Have you ever been in the testosterone zone?
It's probably just cordite and iron.
Oh wait. You said the testosterone zone. Yeah.
I missed that. What? Oh.
You're too busy smelling your must.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
You're Elon Musk.
Get him to star. There you go.
Well, he probably would. He's pretty.
The dramatic.
He's pretty on the ego, isn't he?
Big up Sylvie.
But yeah, when you find out that not all 5 of the views are from me, one of them's from Sylvester Stallone, that's when you get the calls.
Sins.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate we kind of took a bit of a tangent there.
Nah.
No,
we were
that's fun.
We were completely on point.
well, I mean, certain points, yeah.
Quality chat.
Yeah, I feel like we've probably covered the bases. So next week you're going to be watching...
Sensei.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, I nearly forgot there. I was too busy thinking about your film coming out in 2026.
Wait
The dramatics.
Wait for it. It's gonna blow you away. No.
My mind will be...
Until it doesn't, because you don't want explosions.
until we decide explosions just aren't the way to solve problems.
My mind will be simmering with activity. It's the opposite of an explosion, alright? A quiet simmer. Like the kettle when you've got a pot of tea on.
Oh.
No, we never
That's
reached boiling
exciting.
point.
That is actually quite exciting for me.
Yeah,
What, the kettle?
Kettle boiling.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, tea's coming.
cool. So, I'll be watching Sensei while Luke's got the kettle on.
I feel like we sometimes need to get out more.
Dan and Luke may have an actual plot to... Will you have a play-by-play of the dramatics?
No,
No.
not at all.
No.
Is it too much to
I
expect?
mean, we could give you one. I mean,
Is it too much to expect material from you next week, Luke?
Yeah.
He starts as he
not lie.
starts as he means to go
Look,
on.
I'll occasionally bring something, and when I do, it will be quality.
Until the laugh.
promises.
Until the laugh, you almost had me sold.
Look, we'll see.
All right, fair. You got a little crumb in your hair.
Yeah, you're a crumb. I've been Luke.
I've been Dan.
Oh, I've interrupted, Dan. I've been Gabe.
Well, I thought you might need some time to work it up. You know? Yeah, it's a great point to leave.
Dan.